We are officially in June, meaning that we are halfway into 2023, meaning half of the superhero content in 2023 has come out. So how was it? The first thing that released this year was a movie, and it was Legion of Superheroes on February 7th. It was the next movie in the Tomorrowverse, and my least favorite movie so far in the Tomorrowverse. It was just boring for the most part, and the actual Legion of Superheroes wasn't as present as you would think it would be in a movie called Legion of Superheroes. I barely even remember this movie. What stood out to me the most was everything not involving Supergirl or the Legion of Superheroes, just all the Batman, Superman stuff, which was not a big part of this movie, just a couple of scenes. Moving into February 8th, The Flash Season 9 premiered, and this season just breaks my heart, honestly. It was terrible. Outside of really two great episodes, it wasn't very good. It was a bad season and an even worse final season. I had high expectations and really was hoping the show would go out on a bang, but it ended up going out with my least favorite season of the show. Then on February 9th, 3 days in a row, we had things coming out. A fun and busy week. The year did not start great. We had my least favorite movie in the Tomorrowverse and my least favorite season of The Flash. But then we got Harley Quinn, a problematic Valentine's Day special, which I loved. The Harley Quinn show I think is alright. I've watched some of it, but it never really hooked me. But this Valentine's Day special was so much fun. An absolutely perfect Valentine's Day special with a hilarious plot that fits Harley Quinn perfectly and works on Valentine's Day perfectly. Truly one of the best holiday specials ever made, and I never thought there would be a Valentine's Day special I would actually be excited to watch on future Valentine's Days. That is an achievement. Now moving on to February 17th, MCU territory with Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. I love Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. I love seeing Ant-Man in any movie. I loved his past movies and past movie appearances, and this movie was no exception. It was really fun. The Quantum Realm was an amazing setting, and after getting a tease for so long, it was nice to finally see it and explore it. And the movie still had that heist feel that the Ant-Man movies have. It was just in a different context. The only real bummer was that Scott's friends didn't appear. I somewhat get why they weren't brought into the Quantum Realm, although I think if they were and had their own little side plot, that would have been so funny to watch. Moving into March, we have a double feature on March 14th with Gotham Knights Season 1 and Superman and Lois Season 3. From even before Gotham Knights came out, it was just hated on, and then the first trailer came out and it got even more hated on. I never thought it looked that bad. Didn't think it looked great, but not as terrible as everyone was saying it was going to be. And I think the show is really good. I am enjoying it so much, and that's pretty amazing for a Batman-related show that lacks Batman-related crap. I don't love all the characters, and sometimes the show doesn't know how to stay focused, but when it is focused, it's honestly a bit intriguing, and I think everything of Harvey Dent on the show is great. And Superman and Lois Season 3, when it started with the first few episodes, I thought it was phenomenal. It really shocked me with some of the things they were doing. But at the point we're at now in this season, I think it's pretty meh. Everything with the cancer storyline just got boring. Some of the drama is insanely hit or miss. Not really a fan of Bruno Mannheim as a villain and everything going on with him. And just the overall lack of Superman. And on the subject of meh, Shazam Fury of the Gods came out on March 17th. And it was meh. Super disappointing. That first Shazam was so good, so naturally I was excited for the sequel. And I cannot believe how boring and unfunny this movie was. It felt like all the charm that first one had was just gone in this one. Closing off March, Batman the Doom That Came to Gotham came out on March 28th. This is what I was excited about because it was a Batman Elseworld story and a very different take on Batman. And it was so weird. It really took the Batman mythos and twisted them. I had fun with this movie because of all of those twists and this demonic vibe the movie had, but I feel like it did lack some of that Batman charm. It really took Batman out of his element, which I did like because this is an Elseworld story, but it just took Batman out of his element a little bit too much and maybe went a little too mythical for Batman. I did have fun with it, but I thought it would be a bit better. On April 13th, Titans came back with Season 4 Part 2, and I didn't really finish Part 1 when it was coming out. I finished it right before Part 2 came out, and it's another worse stuff. I think this is the worst season of Titans. I feel like nothing really happened. Titan in general I think was always a bad show, but it has this weird charm about it that I enjoy while not actually liking it. Because this is about 2023, I'm mostly talking about Part 2, but honestly the season overall was bad. I don't think Part 1 or Part 2 were better. They were just both bad. Then on April 19th, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always came out, and I was really excited for this because I love me some Power Rangers. I was never a big Mighty Morphin fan specifically, but either way it was something new with Power Rangers and with some OG Power Rangers, and I did have a lot of fun watching this, but I thought it was just alright. It didn't really stick with me too much after I saw it. Closing off April on the 27th, Sweet Tooth Season 2 came out, and I enjoyed Season 1 quite a bit. I found it interesting, but I didn't really get past the first episode of Season 2. I don't even think I finished it. Just got a little bit too out of my age range. Now starting May is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 on May 5th. This movie was amazing. James Gunn delivered, and this movie did everything it had to do, and it did it right. It was the closing of a trilogy and the closing of an era, and it did it perfectly. This movie is so much fun, so much emotion, it's great action, and of course the Guardians themselves, which are always fun. And now moving to June right away, we have Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which came out on June 2nd. This movie was just perfect. Just like Guardians, it was so much fun. It had the emotion, had some amazing action, and the animation in this movie was incredible. It took everything we know about Spider-Man and really examined it, the good, the bad, and the funny. This is a movie just made for Spider-Man fans, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is overall a very good movie on its own and a very good setup movie for the next one. And then finally Transformers Rise of the Beast, which came out on June 9th. This movie I just thought was alright. All the Transformer action was really fun and looked really cool, but everything else I didn't really care that much for. This movie I think really had a crappy roster of Transformers, and the people I didn't care for at all either. And one Transformer is absent for all of this movie too, and all those things just brings it down for me. But I wouldn't say it was bad because the Transformers action in this movie was really entertaining, and there was a lot of it, I would say. Overall, so far at the midway point of 2023, I will give this year a dub because some of the bangers that came out this year are real standouts, like Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Harley Quinn, a very problematic Valentine's Day special, and Ant-Man the Wasp: Quantumania. Even Gotham Knights is a standout because of how much it surprised me. And there is some L's, mostly because of how disappointing they were, like The Flash Season 9 and Shazam Fury of the Gods, and kind of Power Rangers Once and Always, but again, the good really just stands out more so far.